Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's an open world RPG game with a lot to offer, right? It's got beautiful graphics, exploration, massive map, and the Spartan kick. But is it as good as everybody say? Some say it's the best Assassin's Creed to date. Others say it's just a lot of the same. But this is what this video is about to find out. This is your boy, Sir Mackleton Fauntleroy the Third, Esquire, man. And I'm sitting next to my boy Curtis
Russell,
aka Light Skin Jesus.
I knew he was gonna say that shit.
Russell.
I knew he was gonna say that.
So first and foremost, man, let's just jump right into it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Right off the bat, how did you feel when the game first started off playing as King Leonidas?
Oh, King Leonidas. The first thing was the Spartan kick that did lash out to me.
Yeah.
That was like, oh yeah, you got all these moves at your disposal immediately. Yeah. And you're able to just use everything and kind of get a preview of all the moves you can have. When I started fighting, though, I wasn't too sure about the fighting at first. I don't know, it's because you're just already in a war.
Yeah.
But like it just seemed like it kind of got quickly repetitive. Like you were doing the same, I want to say the same move set, like the same animation, stuff like that. But it was epic. Like the story wise, it was epic.
Yeah, like it was when I first started. It kind of was a lot to take in because there was so much going on. I ain't gonna lie, I killed half of my troops because I ain't know nothing about the targeting system. The button system threw me off because it was R1 and R2 and square was dodging, and so I'm trying to hit people, and of course I'm hitting square, so I'm just flying through the field going backwards. So but that was my take. Other than that, I thought it was legit, and of course the Spartan kick stood out to me more than anything.
Yeah, dude.
That was just crazy, like kicking cats like that. It was just, like, mad respect to the Spartan kick. As far as like when you first started the game, beyond that part, how did you feel in regards to being able to pick a male or female character? Because this is like the first time they've ever done that.
That's right. I thought it was actually really great for Ubisoft to implement that into the game, especially the fact that me and you were talking about story wise, it's a little bit different between Alexios and Cassandra.
Yeah.
I went with Cassandra. You went with Alexios. So far I actually like Cassandra as a character. She's one of my favorite ones since the guy from the Welsh dude from Assassin's Creed 4. Yeah, that's the one where you can use ships for the first time.
Black Flag.
Yeah, Black Flag. Okay. She is a really cool character. And you don't like, with characters like this, like they always tend to be the macho person and the quiet type, and not a Cassandra. She's actually very out there, and she's pretty funny too. That's the funny part about her.
Yeah, I guess it's a little different with Alexio. He's a lot like the regular character we've been seeing. He looks a little different or whatever, but for the most part, he's still very much so Spartan, and you see that in and out. He's one of the cats where he might be doing something out the goodness of his heart at one point, and then he might just be doing something else just because he fucking can.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So it's definitely something to get used to. Like I also thought what was good was the RPG, all the RPG elements. You got a taste of that as soon as the game started. Like we was just talking about the bandits and how they kind of ran up on you.
Yeah, that's right.
And you had a choice on whether or not once you dealt with them, if you could just let them run off, or if you wanted to go and take them out right then and there. And I believe we, being who we are, we let them roll.
Yeah.
And of course, we paid for that like 5 minutes down the line.
Literally 5 minutes ago.
So what did you think about in regards to like being able to have such a choice and how it impacted the game, and as far as what we've done as we've gotten through the rest of it?
It reminded me actually a lot of like games like The Witcher. I do like you said, the RPG aspect where you have the whole control. I don't know if you got to the part where there was like a sickness going on and you had to see if you can let the people leave.
The one where they burnt the whole city.
Yeah. That, I feel like that one's gonna come probably later in the story, probably to bite you. Hopefully it does. But overall, the RPG feel of the game is actually, at its base, it's pretty good, because for what Assassin's Creed is, it's trying to be like, it has this repetitiveness. I don't think you gotten to that point when it starts opening up, but it has that repetitiveness where you're just steadily, going into strongholds, stealing certain kind of treasures, burning down certain kind of things. But what what I really like about it is like you continuously get good loot. I don't know how many like RPGs we played, and it's just like you're grinding for 2 hours and you barely get anything.
Yeah.
But Assassin's Creed does a good job of just keeping you going because you're getting nonstop good loot, and then on top of that, you can respec all of your abilities at any moment.
Yeah.
So the fact that you keep getting different kind of weapons, and then you can respec at every moment, you can try different kind of builds.
And I thought that was legit too.
That is really dope.
Especially since respecing in normal nowadays, you see the respec option that normally costs something.
Yeah.
And it increases, which is kind of annoying. So like anybody who never dealt with that, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's right.
But speaking of abilities, the combat, I thought it was pretty smooth. I mean, granted, I died a million times, just off dealing with Talos alone. So I had to get used to it, and like I said, with the dodge system. But overall, that, and then just being able to get the Spartan kick, like I thought the combat was legit. What about you?
They had to have that Spartan kick in there, and they had to make it real good. And I think it's one of the best abilities in there, especially with the feedback that you get. Like I've been playing with headphones on, and it's I think I said it on Twitter. Like it reminds me a little bit of the satisfaction you get with the Leviathan on God of War when you have to retract it back, and you get that little bit of like vibration in the controller. Yeah, and it's like. The fighting, I had to get used to it, though. I had to get used to it because you can kick a motherfucker ass. Yeah. Like, really bad. And, it's very, I don't know, it goes both ways. Because, like, you can kick somebody's tail really bad, but then you have these guys that, like, they will stop you mid-ass kicking. Right. Like, and hit you. So I'm like, okay.
You could be on the damn road. Just, no. But before you know it, you done fell the fuck over and died. Just like, what the hell happened?
I noticed you got to learn how to, like, block and parry instead of just dodging. Because I was trying to weave everything in the beginning.
Yeah, like, that's something else. Like, combat is something that's, I do like it. I like it a lot. And, like, speaking of which, I think one of the main reasons I like it is because of how much is so involved in it. Like I was talking about like how I kept dying, but mainly that came from the bounty hunters, which is a new thing in the game.
Which is an awesome thing.
It is an awesome mechanic. Like, so the first guy, I don't know how long it took for you, but it took me. Yeah. The fact that he offed me, and then I respawn and I see this damn red helmet coming back down the street, chasing me down to the next village. I'm like, come on, bro. I just got back.
Did you play Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah.
That reminds me of that, like the Nemesis system, where you kind of, because you're able to see them in this whole mercenary system, and like you said, when you have a bounty on you, they start coming to look for you. Like they do their own thing. As soon as you get a bounty, they're coming to look for you. But it took me, I actually whooped that dude's ass because I did everything else, and then he tried to find me, and then when he found me, I was already boosted up. Like he didn't know what was coming.
Yeah, see, I should have did that. I didn't. I thought I was gonna be the man and roll up on him at level 2. Yeah, and I tried to assassinate him, and it turned into a stealth attack, which is another real cool thing. You're not just going around here assassinating whatever you get behind. If you're not at a certain level, your assassination will simply become a stealth attack.
Yeah, that's right.
I think is sweet because the dude just kind of turns around and grabs the back of his head like, I don't know what you just did, but you're finna die. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of which, we got combat. What do you think about the setting in reality? The game takes place in Greece, and it's a lot of reality stuff. It's a lot of attractions and everything that's real about Greece is in the game, and I thought that was super legit. Running into like Socrates and Barnabas and even dealing with Odysseus's castle. Yeah, like I thought that was awesome. All legit. Like, what about you? I thought that was pretty clean.
I think it's really awesome. I think it's like the south of Greece, if you know like anything about history. Like it's very history accurate game, and I think it's down mainly a lot of places you're gonna be at are like in the Mediterranean, like a lot of the islands. So I think it's amazing how it looks. Me personally, it's not the most beautiful game I played this year because there is some texture issues, especially with rocks and grass and some of the NPCs. Oh my goodness! But like coming from like games like Tomb Raider and then playing that, you kind of notice those small things. But I like Greece as a setting though. It's awesome.
I mean, the attractions, everything is nice. I mean, even the statues. But Can we talk about statues for a second?
Yeah.
Can we go off?
I feel like I know where you're going with this.
Can we go off into the statues?
The Zeus statue.
Zeus. Come on, man. Let me see if I can be politically correct about this, so we won't get banned.
His dingling was out.
Yeah, there you go. Bam. But about as politically correct as you can be. Like, how did you feel about the fact that somebody just decided to show the mortal aspect of Zeus?
Okay.
Just all out there. You know? He wasn't even circumcised. He was just terrible.
Look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if it's just because I'm by myself and I'm not gonna be like this thing. Nah,
Look,
I was just like, look, if you look at the statue of David, his stuff is. I'm like, that's just how it is. That's history accurate, I guess. So I was thinking about taking a picture, like hanging off of it, and then putting it on Twitter, Callie from the Dojo, just in case if I do. But I was gonna, I was gonna do that, but I was like, no. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna get the eagle thing, the synchronized thing. I'm gonna do that instead. And so, but that was really funny, funny stuff.
Like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. No, you probably shouldn't. But with that being said, overall, the game itself is great. You know, I honestly want to see what they do with it going into the future.
Is it the best Assassin's Creed?
For me. Yes, I'm not going front. Like, for a while, 3 had it for me because I'm such a fan of like the Indians and dealing with Connor. The way that game was set up was just great. Yeah. But as far as this current Assassin's Creed with the RPG aspects, being in Greece, taking out sharks, just all the stuff you can do, because I love the way it's set up, because you can actually, like, they give you a reason to go and explore. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a certain level, then you need to get to that level in order for you to be able to, like, reasonably complete story missions. And it's all fun. Like, nothing's I mean, of course, every game tends to get a bit repetitive, and it will, I'm sure. But for the most part, what you're doing in the game is so fun. It's so smooth, and the way it works out. I mean, being able to even call Icaros, the bird. Being able to use him and scout out the area before you go in there is such a tactical thing. And as a fan of something like that, I thought it was real legit.
I think the game is very good, especially because I played Origins, and a lot of things that were in Origins are in this game. But it seems like Ubisoft take that extra step forward and go full on RPG. And they have, even though it does, like I said, it does get repetitive, and like you said, with the strongholds going in there, doing what you have to do, but when you get to the main island, well, not the main island, when you get to the next island, it opens up and they introduce some new things that they have to do with the war between the Spartans and the Athenians.
See, and I ain't even got that far.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. Look, I'm already enjoying the little piece of what we got.
So it is a little bit different. I don't know how much you can take within 80 hours of this game.
80 hours?
Yeah,
bro.
This is a long game.
It's
a big game, really big. So for right now, I think I want to say my second favorite Assassin's Creed game, but the way that they're going this RPG stuff, they can, because they're not doing Assassin's Creed game every year anymore. So just keep building on top of this, keep making great content, and I think we're going to get even better Assassin's Creed games after this. So I think it's pretty legit, yeah.
I definitely agree. Ubisoft, don't fuck this up and go online with it. Okay, please. Every time y'all go online, shit just takes the downward spiral, okay?
Yeah, I hear that.
So, all right, I got one last, like, I wouldn't say that. I say this is my one gripe about the game. All right, so this is more of the nitty and gritty. This is a long game, like we was just saying.
Yeah.
And I seen that at first as more of a feature of the game, and I still kind of do. But we were just talking about the combat, the difficulty of it, because it is a bit of a challenging game.
Yeah.
But there's a darker side to that, being microtransactions.
Okay. And
so I feel like there are different kinds of microtransactions, right? You got the kind that are completely optional. Yeah. The kind that, if you want to buy it, fine. If not, don't worry about it. Yeah. But I feel like the way this game is set up, with it being such a long game and the enemies being as difficult as they are, these microtransactions are actually set to where, hey, you don't want to deal with the grind, if you don't want to learn this fight and master these the mechanics to this particular fight, we got this microtransaction right here that'll help you breeze right on through that. And I feel like once you get a game, you have to trust the developer.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like once I take this guy, once that white energy over his head, drops, that I have faith in the developer and what will come next. That it'll be completed and I can move on to the next thing without having to worry about that. But it seems as though the microtransactions for this game are built specifically for that. So I feel like, personally, almost like, is the game long because this is what the content brings and this is what the content makes it, or is the game long because they want you to deal with the microtransactions?
That is a good statement. Oh my goodness, I didn't think of it like that. And maybe that's where the repetitive part comes in. It could be something to do with that. I wouldn't know with just 6 hours in, but I'm probably not gonna spend extra money to, if I feel like the game is slowing my progression down, or if I feel like it's just being long for no reason, like just the story kind of dries out and they're just making you do a whole bunch of fetch quests, then that's when I'll know, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is wrong in this point.
This is not good.
Yeah, and like I said, as long as it doesn't, slow down the progression necessarily just to make the microtransactions attractive, I don't know. It really just doesn't need to be in there, to be honest. Not in a story mode, not in a single player experience. I don't think so.
Not in something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've seen that happen. We've seen games kind of fall by the wayside. We're seeing Devil May Cry, which ain't even out yet, making something of that. So it's disheartening, honestly, and it can be disappointing to think about, just because it's just a loot grab. It's just a money grab.
The money grab.
But let's not let that cloud such a great game that we, in our opinion,
great game is a good way to put it. Really good game, yeah.
So one last question, man. Overall, with everything we just talked about, would you recommend this game? To anybody?
And I thought about this about 4 times today. That's the funny thing. I say, not in a bad way, in a good way, because people do need to kind of experience the newer Assassin's Creed that Ubisoft is bringing up. With Red Dead Redemption, you got Fallout 76, you got, this came smack dab in the middle of everything. And we're coming up to the season where Thanksgiving, Black Friday, you can probably get this for $30. Maybe get it then and probably play it during December when we start dying down a little bit. But you're going to probably want to save your money more for Red Dead Redemption, maybe Fallout. And this game should be definitely for your December, January kind of fix. But this game does need to be played, and I do recommend it, but on a sale, though.
Right. Yeah. So, with that being said, everybody, y'all got it from us. Your boy, Sir Mackleton Fauntleroy, the third, Esquire, with my partner, light-skinned Jesus himself,
Curtis Russell.
Well, holla at y'all, man. Look this man up on the Seoul Dojo.
Yes,
Check
sir.
me out on YouTube at Mack Lee 3, on Instagram at Sir_Mackleton.
You changed your channel name?
Nah, that was always my channel name.
Oh.
I just never officially said that was what that was. Also, check us out on Twitter, man, at myninjagaming. Check us all out, man. We all on there, man. Look for us, and we will catch y'all on the next one with a little Mario Party.
Yes, sir.